let's talk about release from holds and grabs. The first thing you need to understand is the formation of our hand. This area is thinner than this area. See? Thin, wide, thin, wide. So when we are being held, we want to escape using our thin side of the arm and not using our wide side of the arm. This is the first thing you need to know. So let's start talking about releasing from holds when he's holding my hand. Let's start with angle. We can use just sharp movement using angles like this. What I'm doing actually is I take my arm and rotate it to the opening of his hand with my thin side, and I spread the fingers because then I'm enlarging the volume of the hand. Smaller volume, larger volume, and then I just move in sharp angle. This sharp angle makes him get into some sort of joint lock, and then I can just release myself. So let's start with the opposite hand. So I'm going to the outside. If he's using same hand, I just go to the inside. Why? Because this is the direction I have to go. It works also with ups and downs. Okay, but if I'm down, I can only go up. This is a basic idea. The second thing we can do is round motion, and this is much larger concept than just small angular movement, because this angular movement is actually a type of circular round movement, and as with all movements we can only do arm rotation backwards and forwards. So this is all the concept. If I'm doing this, this is forward arm rotation. If I'm doing this, it's backward arm rotation. Also with the opposite hand, see? Backward arm rotation, forward arm rotation. It's that easy. And you can grab me with both hands, it still doesn't matter. You see, I'm just doing rotational movement with my arm and I just grab his both hands. So if he grabs him with both hands, it's better for me. If he's very strong and opposes, I will not use only my shoulder force. No, I will just move my entire body with it. See, I'm doing backward arm rotation with forward movement, and now I just go back. I'm turning around and continue the movement. I can do the same with forward arm rotation, and he actually can do nothing about it as long as he keep holding me. This is his choice. Remember, when you hold something, it holds you. If you harness something, it harnesses you. Of course, I can use my both hands and just use movement against movement like this. I'm pulling this hand backward and I'm pushing this forward. Works every time. Of course, I can just do the same, hitting him with heavy hit. It also works every time, because I just do what we do. You see, I just put heavy strike down, heavy strike here. You can't do anything about it. And the concept is always preferably using the body. If he grabs me strong and I want to pull him, I will use my entire body for that. See, with my hand, and then I can just make a counter movement on him. So the basics are using the thin side of the arm to escape, using angles to break his grip by making him get into joint lock and losing grip. We use rotational movement, forward and backward arm rotation, small movements, See? Small movements and large movement. We use our body together to manipulate him and to overcome strong hold, and we can use strikes to add this situation. Of course, if he grabs me, I can not only strike his arm, but I can just strike him because his hand is here, so I have a clear path here. Never forget, simple things work. The next section is neck grab, skull grab, neck grab, whatever grab. This situation, you have two types of how to do it. The first is when I grab him and I put my arm under his jaw. I can put it on his jaw and then I apply torque on his neck. I can put it under his jaw and pull upwards, see? And then I apply, well, torque on his neck on a different direction. And I can also choke him this way, see? I can press his neck between my arm and my body and just strangle him. So these are three more common ways, and the fourth way is kind of less common. I'm pushing my arms down, I stretch my arms, I'm not trying to grab him. And why? I will explain why. There are several principles, as always, of how to escape. One, we can use our entire body. He's strong and I'm weak on my neck, so I need to move my entire body together. It's not like only my neck. Be aggressive. I stretch my entire body and I'm actually using his pulling up force. He pulls me up here, so I just go with it instead of fighting it. So the first principle is unify your body, and this you do with whatever next thing you can do. He harnesses me, so I grab this harness and I'm using it. Like I can drop my weight and back again up. I can do this. I'm just taking his arm and rotate it using my body. I can do the more common. This thing is hard to be done, but I grab his eye when I'm doing this. See here, not only this, but with his eye. Down, I grab his leg. So the principle is unify your body, downwards or upwards. Pay attention where your weight is, because I'm using my weight to drop him. See? Now I will drop my weight down. Now he is unstable, so I can do whatever I want to do. Of course, never forget the good old hitting. This to his groin is like the regular standard hit you can do, but it's not the best. This works, but how about this? If you can reach the face. If I can't reach his face, so okay, I will use my entire body, and then you don't want to forget you can hit. You have this. Pay attention to my legs. In his ankle, or here, in his knee. What happens is that I hit him on the ankle or here in the knee, and I'm outbalancing him. So there are many things you can do while you're being grabbed, and usually it's aggressive grab. It can be common grab, like I want to control his direction, or it can be if I want to take him down. See, I will throw him. Try to throw me. If he tries to throw me with this coming fast in round movement, so I play along with it. He's trying to throw me. I'm going down before he do it for me, and I throw him over my knee. So this is about the neck grab. Use your entire body. Use the harness. Use him as a harness. Use your body. Drop your weight down and move it, shift it back upwards as fast as you can. Use round motion. Now, the thing about this sort of grab is that I'm not harnessed by him, because I'm actually not harnessing him. He can't take my weight. This, he can't take my weight. Here, he can't take my weight. And it's very easy for me to release if I see him trying to do something. Try to do something. 10 seconds. See, I can swiftly change. And see, I'm trying to do something. I'm trying to take his weight, but I take nothing because he's just with open arms. See, if I grab this and I'm doing this, okay, I've opened his arms, so what? I'm being hit in my head now. If I try to take him to the ground, like, you see the thing, it's repetitive. It's just because here I'm locked, here I'm not locked. Here I'm locking myself, here I'm not. But it's, again, it's usable for specific situations, not if you want to apply torque on the neck. Here you don't have so much torque, but you can use your body and the arm instead. But it requires a bit more training. The next thing we'll talk about is the grabbing from behind. Now, you can grab somebody when you catch his arms, and you can grab somebody when you miss his arms. Now, this of course is lesser situation because he can just hit you freely. He can elbow me, he can strike my eyes, he can strike my groin, and whatever. In this situation, it's harder for him to strike. He can still strike me with his head. It's not pleasant. So, if you grab somebody like this, what you need to do is being behind his shoulder and below, so he can't strike you with his head. And if his arms are free, he still can't strike you freely. Okay? You are kind of protected, but of course this is better than this. If you are the grabber, if you are being grabbed, it's not better. So, things we can do from this situation. As always, we use the fact that he's harnessing us. We use our weight and drop it down to shake him. I'm using this harnessing effect so I can play my weight over his weight. Of course, I can strike his shin and his knee. I can step on him like this. See? This is a donkey kick. And I do it on his center of mass, on his pelvis or his knee. I don't have to hit him like you always see people do. I can just step on his knee and take his hand. So okay, this was the first. Now the second is harnessing. I will use my body weight. I will drop down and see, I can tilt my weight forward using my bump to jump him up. And the stronger he's holding me, the easier it's for me to do. If he's holding me very, very weak, I can't actually do anything because he's not harnessed to me. He just will move to something else like this. So, he's grabbing me. Strong. Yeah. Now I can take air and then expand myself. See? Now I can like take him off like a shirt. Now, if he's very, very strong, he won't allow me to do it. It will be looking like this. Now I'm expanded and I will twist myself to throw him, to make myself room for another movement. See? Now if I just try and use my body against it, I can't. But what I can do is doing this, because I've opened myself enough space using my leg, and it's much easier than just fighting his force in a situation where he's much stronger than me. It's stupid. Another thing we can do is this. When I'm here down, I grab his pants, not his leg. I can't grab his leg. I'm like here. I'm like shackled by him. I can't grab his leg, so I can just put my weight backwards and fall down, grab his pants. If he has no pants, then grab his leg, but pants is easier. Of course, if my hands are free, it's much easier to do everything. I can use my elbows. I just twist myself and contradict the movement. Now he is grabbed in neck grab. See? My hands are pushing downwards and not in a guillotine like this. This is good. This is also good. Depends on what you want to do. If he wants to knee strike me, this is bad for me. This is good for me. So we've talked about hand grabbing, and the principles were using basically arms rotation, short version and long version, combining with body movement, so I can resist any type of strong grab he using. The second thing we've talked about was neck grabs for here and here, different also from the frontal side, different use for hands down or hands up. Here I can defend myself, here I can't defend myself. Here I can be grabbed by him and pulled down, here I can't, but this is less control of me over him. And we have using our body weight, we harness each other and using body weight to do all kinds of transitions. I'm using my entire body movement so I can release myself. I'm not trying by force only. I drop the weight the way we learned already. I just open my legs and let my weight drop in a split second. The basics. We've talked about the back grab, which applies to the same principles. Of course, we have strikes. We can use heavy strikes when he grabs my hand, when he grabs my body. I can use my leg and push him backwards. So these are all principles, all good. The forward grab. When he grabs me from the forward, he actually wants to pick me up. לא ברגליים. Okay. He actually wants to pick me up and probably push me against the wall, or in the worst case scenario against some sort of spike that comes out from the wall. So we don't want to be in this situation. If he's alone, okay. If he's not alone, this is really bad. Now if my arms are free, okay, it's not a big deal. The problem is that he can't really strike me with his legs when I grab him and pick him up. See? Ineffective. But if his hands are free, okay, the game is on. But what happens if his hands aren't free? Yeah, he can bite my ear off, and this will just piss me off. Okay. It won't help him too much, especially if his head is back there. Now I just grab and push him against a spike in the wall. This actually is a very bad situation, and there are not really magical answers to what to do there. No tricks, no harnessing, no anything, because all your tools are inefficient or locked. See, I can't really strike him. I can give him some knee strikes, but it's inefficient. I can do this, see, but it's like inefficient. And don't forget, he's picking me up and running with me into a wall. Yeah, it's a very bad situation. Don't let yourself be grabbed this way. The second he comes grabbing me this way, pull your elbows out so you can pull your hands out. Don't let anybody grab you this way from the front. This is like a dead situation. Sorry.